Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be going over my 10,000 mile rider experience with the 2022 Kawasaki ZX10R. As you can see, I got a slip-on race fit on this bike, a couple of other goodies, tuned by Nate over at Two Wheel Dyno Works, and it's also got a DNA air filter. I'm going to be going over some of the things I like about this bike and some of the things that I don't like about this bike. So stay tuned. Alright guys, we're going to start the bike up here, do a little rev so you guys can hear the race fit exhaust. The bike is warm. Alright y'all, so we're going to be getting into the 10,000 mile rider review on this bike. To be exact, I have 10,827 miles, so just about to hit 11,000 miles on this thing. And everything on this bike has been very, very good. The reliability has been outstanding, and the performance has been outstanding as well. The value of this bike right now, you can get a new one for around $17,000, $18,000 around there, which is honestly a bargain for something like this. If you guys have been interested in purchasing a 1000, you guys will see that everything in the Japanese market tends to go around that price, 17 and above. I think the cheapest one you can currently buy is a CBR 1000, but that bike is honestly a pretty bad deal, just because it does not come with quick shifter up or down. I believe that's an extra couple $100 you have to spend to get that installed. And you also do not have cruise control on that bike, but you also don't have cruise control on any of the Japanese bikes for that matter. Not from factory. As you can see, this comes with cruise control. Hit that puppy on, hit set, and the bike is on cruise control, as y'all can see. And that is a badass feature to have from the factory. My hat's off to Cali for adding that. They totally didn't have to, but they did. They were thinking about their riders' comfort when they did that. Also, the reliability of this bike is great. I've had this bike, like I said, now for almost 11,000 miles, and I have not had any single recalls, no major issues at all, no leaks. I do ride my bike significantly hard. I haven't tracked it yet. I'm planning on going to my first track day here coming up in August, hopefully. But I do indulge in some nice spirited twisties. And that guy didn't fucking wave back at me. I'm never waving back at anybody in my life. But yeah, y'all, going a little bit into the reliability of this bike. It has been amazing. I have not had any issues with this bike whatsoever. It's been tuned practically the entire time I've owned it. It's tuned by Nate at Two Wheel Dyno Works. I made a separate video going over what I think about his tunes in comparison to other major tuners out there. I think he's where it's at. He's got everything dialed in. This guy wants a rev. Hell yeah. Where? Is a cop where? Where's the cop? Apparently there's a cop, but fuck it. We're good. Anyway, back into the reliability of the bike. I have not had any issues with it. I keep up on all my oil changes, 3,000 to 4,000 miles. Factory Kawasaki oil is what I use, as well as Motul. But yeah, 11,000 miles damn near, and I have not a single issue on this bike. I have wheelied it, I go on spirited rides, I like to go on twisties, and I do plan on doing my first track day here in August, so I'm excited to be doing that. But the bike has been tuned pretty much since brand new. I waited after the first break-in service, so after 600 miles, I got the bike tuned by More Mafia. I had that tuned for about probably another 1,000 miles, and then I decided to switch over to Nate, and it has been amazing. I have not looked back. If y'all want a real good dialed in tune, hit up Nate at Two Wheel Dyno Works. He knows what's up, man. He knows what's up. Tell him Scoozy referred you guys to him, so he knows. But yeah, you will not be disappointed in the tune. Like I said, I've had both. If y'all want to get more info on that, look up my video on More Mafia versus Two Wheel Dyno Works, and there'll be more info on that. But yeah, y'all, that's the reliability of this bike. If you want a real reliable, solid bike, this is the one right here. This compared to the other 1000s in the Japanese bikes category, I think this is the best, just because, you know, obviously the cruise control alone for a lot of people is already kind of a selling point, as lame as that may be. But it's a really cool feature to have from the factory. And to be honest with you, I think this bike has pretty much all of the good from the other Japanese bikes and practically none of the bad. You get really good performance out of this bike when you tune it. A lot of people pick these bikes up and they turn them into drag bikes. They turn them into designated track day monsters. And honestly, if you're just looking for a clean bike to cruise around town in, this bike can do that as well, especially with the cruise control. I do suggest, however, if you're a bigger dude or just taller than most people or whatever, you do look into getting some aftermarket rear sets. The pegs on this bike do sit pretty high, just because this bike has been built around Johnny Rea, which is the ex-WSBK racer for Cowie. This bike was kind of set up around his stature, so the pegs do sit up kind of high. I think they sit probably the highest pegs I've ever felt on a stock bike, to be honest with you. So yeah, that's my only gripe with this bike really, is the pegs. They're pretty high, but you do get used to it after a while. But definitely look into doing that. Quick shifter is spicy. The quick shifter from factory was honestly okay, but it wasn't that good. Again, I've said it once and I'll say it again. I give credit where it's due. Nate at Two Wheel Dyno Works made the quick shifter and the auto blip a hell of a lot smoother. So look into that. The quick shifter was not very good with More Mafia, like at all. But as you can see, it is pretty damn good with two wheel. I think with More Mafia, it jerk you really bad.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Pause. The bike would jerk really bad when you try to go use an auto blip. It lunge forward, so if you weren't paying attention, oh yeah, it would knock you off the bike. Got the girlfriend's bike here, guys. 2025 ZX10R. She just put the M4 slip-on there, and the shit sounds good too. She's really enjoying it, y'all. Ain't nothing like a ride with your significant other. But yeah, so that's my gripes with the ZX10 pretty much. But realistically, any bike, especially really any bike, even Japanese or Euro, the quick shifters and everything aren't going to be as good. Well, not so much the quick shifter, I'm sorry. The throttle and just the feel of the bike isn't going to be as good because of emissions regulations. So you always want to look at tuning your bike anyway, no matter what bike you have. But the tune does wonders to this bike for sure. Talking a little bit about the mods I have on this bike. It's pretty much full bolt-on except for stacks. I got a DNA air filter, again, the Two Wheel Dyno Works tune, and a race fit slip-on exhaust. The headers on this bike from factory are titanium headers, so a lot of people who have these bikes don't bother getting aftermarket titanium headers because they're already titanium. A lot of people just kind of end up getting a good slip-on and calling it a day. If you're looking to squeeze out every single pony horsepower out of this thing, then maybe I would get a full exhaust. But if you're kind of just looking to build a decently fast bike and want to save some money, I wouldn't bother. Headers are like $2,000 to $3,000. So so don't really bother. Again, I didn't really do that, but the bike is supposed to be making 195 horsepower is what I have done to it. I think with stacks and the airbox mod, I think you can easily go over 200. Some people even say, as the bike is now, the way I have it, you can see 200. I think that just depends on the dyno and whatnot, but that's what you're looking at for power out of these things with bolt-ons and whatnot. But yeah, the power has been very reliable. Like I said, I do go hard on this bike when I can, and I have not had any hiccups with this bike whatsoever. This bike also does have adjustable rider modes, and it comes with preset rider modes: Sport, Rain, and Road. But again, you can configure, I think, up to 3 custom rider modes. As y'all can see, I'm on a rider 1, and I have full power on with no traction control, and that is adjustable. Like I said, if you're learning on this bike, or which you shouldn't be, but if you are, because realistically a lot of people do that, you can configure the modes. So let's say you could put the power on full, you can put it on medium, and you can put it on low. Same thing with the traction control. You can configure it up to a certain amount of levels. I think it goes up to 4, traction control level 4, which is the highest, and then 1, which is the lowest, and then 0. This bike does come with launch control from the factory, which works really well. I have a video on how that works if you're interested in learning about launch control on this bike. And it also does come with a engine braking mode that you can turn on or off. I always have it off, but when I go on the twisties, I like to turn it on, because coming out of a corner, or going into a corner, I'm sorry, when you let off the throttle, you get some of that nice engine braking along with your actual braking, of course. But that's able to be switched on or off to your liking. And the bike also does come with Bluetooth connectivity. Kawasaki has an app that they allow you to connect to with your bike and your phone. Honestly, it's not that good. Basically, it just lets you see some of the settings on the bike when you're not on the bike. It lets you track your mileage, your trip, and it also lets you kind of, I think it allows you to, like, let's say you're going on a cool ride and you want to track like the road you're going or the route. There's a map function that lets you kind of go over the route you took, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but I do believe that is an option on the app as well. So that's pretty cool. But as far as the technology goes, like I said, fully adjustable modes, traction control and power, and there is optional ABS on this bike. That means is that if you buy the ABS model, you're stuck with ABS. So if you don't want the ABS on this bike, I would look for a bike that comes with no ABS. It's usually cheaper by a few $100s or $1,000, I think. However, if you do end up buying an ABS bike, you can get an ABS delete kit, which absdelete.com sells, I believe. And that can be done as well. It's like $500 to do. So don't feel like you're out of luck if you buy an ABS bike. But the ABS does have to be deleted using the module. It's not like on the previous gen ZX10s where you could like unplug the fuse or whatever, get like a buddy or like a servo buddy type of thing. That's not going to work. You're going to have to buy the delete kit on their website. It comes with like the box that tricks the bike into thinking there is an ABS module in place. And the nice thing about that is that it will help you preserve the functionality of all your electronics. I try to basically delete the ABS by pulling a fuse, and that did not work at all. My launch control was freaking out. My ABS, like obviously the ABS it just doesn't work, guys. It's a bunch of problems. So if you're interested in doing that, do it the right way. Get the ABS delete kit, and you'll be a lot happier in the long run that you did that, because there's a lot of issues if you don't. But yeah, y'all, kind of going into my last thoughts about this bike. I for sure think that it's the best bike in the Japanese market right now for 1000s, excluding the Triple R SP or like the R1M. I don't think those bikes can really be compared to like the normal 1000s. Those bikes are like $28,000 and above. This bike is $17,000, so I'm comparing this to the base versions of like those bikes basically, and like the Suzuki GSX-R, the Honda. This bike is for sure the best of those two options without a doubt. But some of you guys might ask, what's the difference between this bike and the ZX10R? There is a big difference, and that's the internals of the motor on the ZX10R are assembled. I'm sorry, I think it's Italy. It does have titanium internals, revs up a bit higher because of that, and it does have better wheels. It has Marchesini wheels, which is what comes on some of those premium quality Italian bikes. And I believe that the suspension is tuned a little bit more aggressively for the track, but overall it is the same suspension setup, show-off forks, shock in the rear, same exhaust, suspension setup on that compared to this. So really you're just paying for the engine components, the wheels, and as far as I am concerned, that is it. So you get to decide if it's the extra money. If it's not, this does everything really, really well. But yeah, you guys, that's my review on this bike. Overall, it's been hassle-free, no issues or concerns, no headaches. If you stay up on all your maintenance, which is super easy to do on this bike, the oil changes are a walk in the park. You'll have no issues whatsoever. So if you guys are considering getting a 1000, definitely look into this bike. Lots of room for power to be made. You can turn it into whatever type of build you want, track, drag, or just an overall nice daily 1000 to commute in. So yeah guys, that's my review on the ZX10R. If you guys have any questions about the bike or want me to make any videos specifically addressing certain aspects of the bike, please leave a comment down below and I'll get back to you guys. But yeah y'all, thank you for checking out the video. Peace.